that are going to hit. I mean, they could end up using most of those 5 picks on the first 2 days on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think when you look at where they're at offensively, they're going to take an O-lineman and a running back at some point. I feel very confident, maybe early, maybe late. But this idea of finding a middle linebacker, a dynamic, big-time playmaker, I think we all hope Quay Walker is going to be that guy. He did not have the season impact-wise that I think we all hope for. I thought you'd see more of him rushing, more of him mugging up.
And maybe that's scheme. Maybe that's not his fault.
Yeah, but that's what would be fun to watch, because under Joe Barry's leadership, it never happened. There's been plenty of players that have improved with different schemes. Whether or not that's going to be Quay Walker, I would think he would be somebody that if I'm Matt LaFleur when I'm hiring, that would be one of the questions. Is he the guy you're looking for, and how can we make him more impactful? And if that's the case, I would think that'd be a big selling point to whomever is going to be that next leader of this group.
All right, last thing on this, and then we'll get to Wonelli. Zach Orr was a pretty darn good football player. Like, I think he was all-pro one year before he had, I think, injury issues, maybe his neck, and that was what ended his career early. You have mentioned many times the kind of rivalry, if that's a fair word, on Mike McCarthy's staff between the guys who played in the NFL and the guys who didn't. Is defensive now, and I'm not saying that Joe Barry's downfall as a defensive coordinator was that he didn't play in the league. I don't think that was the issue. But do you think that that's one of the positions? Hey, I don't think Fritz Shermer played in the league. I don't think Dom Capers played in the league. Bob Slowick, Ed Donatel. I mean, I'm trying to think of a defensive coordinator they've had that played in the league during my time covering the team. Emmett Thomas, I guess, would have been the last one. Is that a position where you would prefer to have a guy who played in the league, or does it not matter?
No, I don't care. No, that doesn't matter. I just think that there is something to be said when you had Jethro Franklin and James Campen and these guys barking at each other and doing that. It brings juice. It brings a little extra energy. And I know Mike McCarthy, I think, got a huge kick out of it. I think it was something he really loved, was those battles.
Kevin Green, Darren Perry.
You knew what was going to happen when you said things, and there was going to be spit back, whether it was Joe Philbin, you just knew that there was going to be that back and forth, which I think is healthy. But do I care if Zach Orr or whomever ends up getting this D coordinator job played in the league? No. I want somebody that knows what the hell they're doing and has an idea of how to stop opposing teams. That's it. You could be a complete nerd and have all the analytics down and say, well, I know this is what's happening on a 3rd and 3. They're going to run out of this formation, this bunch formation. They're going to do this and put their little glasses up and tuck their little shirt collar deal in.
Frankie.
And then they get their players lined up to stop the play. That's what I'm looking for. But I also want a dog. I'd love to have it all. I don't know if you can get it all, but I'd love to have it all.
So basically, if we can get Chris Orr's brother, Zach, to wear the quintessential nerd glasses with the tape in the middle, we could potentially have everything we're looking for.
Potentially. We'll Jesse, what did Kevin? I saw some tweet come up on the video screen.
Yeah, he was
why did you do that, Jesse? What'd you put that up for?
I thought Old T would want to acknowledge. I love it when Tausch is wrong and gets all salty about it. He was wrong when he made a straw man argument about the Packers being favored in the Super Bowl, and then he was wrong about what a straw man argument is. You can't write a better plot. Kevin and Sheboygan, who usually makes fun of me, so it's nice to change a pace.
Yeah, I don't fully understand.
We know you don't understand what a straw man argument is. We've established that.
Yeah, a straw man argument is something that you can't prove. Like you're going against a straw man. That's the Andy Reid argument. That's what you were doing. So I'm right on straw man. Yeah, the Packers, Chiefs, I could be wrong on it. I've said that I could be wrong on it. All I'm saying is, just like Andrew Shepard and that other dude
in the
who was
American
helping
president.
In the American president,
AJ,
when they asked, can we beat
AJ.
Bob Rumpson? Bob Rumpson. Can we beat Bob Rumpson?
No, that's not. You're butchering
In
the
this
movie
case.
now too. No,
he
it's
said,
about could we have survived a character debate if his wife hadn't died? That they won the
yeah, but it
presidency.
was against Bob Rumpson.
No, it wasn't.
The campaign.
Oh. Could you go back and watch the movie? It is a great movie. I agree with you. And it's also written by Aaron Sorkin, who also wrote A Few Good Men, which is where we were going to start the show today about Jack Nicholson, and we never got there.
Maybe tomorrow.
All right, the bottom line is this race that he wanted to run, I'd love to run that race. My whole point on this whole thing was that this Green Bay Packers team, fan base, and everybody would love to have run that race. We unfortunately didn't get enough delegates. We didn't get enough votes to get to that final race. But that doesn't mean we wouldn't have loved to run it had we qualified. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa, Nelly!
I don't even think they say they run that. I would have loved to have run that campaign, but be that as it may. Let's do Whoa, Nelly. Can you give us your... Because Tom Hanks is not in any of the movies we've mentioned other than Captain Phillips, and you dropped an outstanding I Am the Captain Now. Can you give that to us on our way out to break? Because that was really good, and it didn't get enough attention.
I'm the captain now.
What an effort. Whoa, Nelly is next.
The heck was that?
I don't know. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Out with the new, in with on air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, you thinking about updating your bath or shower? Turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling, where Kohler design consultants and installers do the work for you. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable. But a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
He's the most interesting man in sports radio.
Well, should I have a chip on my shoulder that I'm not making as much money as Skip Bayless?
In his mind, anyway. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
When you say they gave it away, what's at the top of your list?
Get them off the field on third down.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6. Right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
I had a really strange experience today.
Strange how?
A man walked into the store who was only about 2.5 feet tall.
What?
And he was carrying a bow and arrows.
Did he sort of have a baby face?
Yes. How did you know?
Sarah, that was Cupid.
Oh!
Did he give us a thumbs up?
Yes, 3 times.
So tell us, what are the Cupid-approved gifts for Valentine's 2024?
He loved our diamond stud earrings starting at $198.
We have 186 different styles and sizes.
And we have more than 1,400 pair in stock.
And Cupid loved our $98 diamond pendant.
It looks like it's worth a lot more.
And every purchase of $298 or more includes a fabulous free travel case to safely transport all of your jewelry.
But mostly, he loved the 4-carat total weight wow diamond engagement ring for less than $4,000.
Welcome to Kessler's for Valentine's Day.
Cupid approved.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
The Badgers Outsider on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by PDS, providing IT solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Find what solutions they can offer you at pdsit.net. Untethered, unfiltered, and unbothered.
I waited till there was about 5 minutes left in my drive to make that call. I made the call and she said, "Baby, what's wrong?"
Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, and sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And I said, the explicitive Packers is wrong. That's what's wrong.
Weekdays from 2 to 5, right here on 94.5 ESPN. And subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I think there's a lot of things that we do well. I think there's some things we don't do well. But I think there's a lot of things we do well on this program. I think we're entertaining. I think we have fun. I think we educate. But there cannot be a radio show in America that quotes the American president more often than we do. The fact that we both love that movie and the fact that we bring it up, the movie's from 1995. Like, how many other people in your life do you know that even bring up the American president in conversation other than the two of us?
There are a lot of people. Yeah.
Really?
That flag burning thing. His speeches in that movie are fantastic.
Is the view pretty good from the cheap seats, AJ?
We could use some of those same quotes in today's society, as a matter of fact. But I don't see that happening. So.
Be the most popular history professor in the, what is it, the most popular
University
professor in the history of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I didn't like the Wisconsin.
Yeah, you got to pronounce it right, AJ. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, "Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide."
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Tausch, have you been hanging out with Rex Ryan?
What?
No.
Challenging him to races
Football
up
Friday, am I right?
The Eiffel Tower or anything. So I was trying to do some stuff last night, get a little prepared for the show here. Had a couple ideas of things we might do. Stumbled across some Rex Ryan sound from Get Up yesterday, and I could have sworn Old T Incarnate had taken over Rex Ryan's persona and delivered this commentary on the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game.
The Lions just have to look themselves in the mirror and say, why'd we lose this game? We gave it to them. They absolutely gifted this game. And it drives me crazy because I'm going to say something. They had the best offensive game plan of anybody, of any game this year. They were bludgeoning this football team.
Oh!
Yeah, people are going to point to Dan Campbell about, he shouldn't have gone for this. Yeah. That's because we have hindsight. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to knock this team out, okay? And he doesn't.
He got the bludgeoning in there. What else did you think of that commentary? Did the Lions beat themselves in that game, or do you give the credit to Brock Purdy and the 49ers for the comeback? I don't know if we really posed it that way yesterday.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, as is usually the case in these things. Detroit, they played differently. It's very similar to Green Bay, where the moment got big. San Francisco was desperate. They were in a position. I still think going and kicking that field goal would have changed the entire psychological component to that game. The fact that they didn't, and then you got that unfortunate fumble right after, and all of a sudden you feel the onslaught. And it's really hard to pull out of an onslaught.
Yep.
It was really tough, and they couldn't do it. So did Detroit, the biggest thing was, I saw this 7 touches to the running backs only in the second half. 21 passes, up 17 points. Not ideal. Not ideal. And again, it's all snowballed so quickly. So I agree with a lot of what Rex had to say there, but I don't love the fact that he stole my usage of the term bludgeon. Because I can assure you, I didn't steal bludgeon from him.
Did you steal Footbath Friday from him?
Whoa, Nelly! One of my biggest regrets of this show so far, 7 years in and no Footbath Friday partner.
Depending on who the defensive coordinator is, it might be more of an opportunity.
Trust me, I could use a good Footbath Friday, if you know what I mean.
No, what do you mean?
Whoa, Nelly! Callousy, I got a lot of stuff.
Whoa,
Nelly!
You're really selling us on wanting to go to the Footbath Friday with you. Thank you very much.
Last night we started a movie at 6:30. You know, the dogs have been just wearing us out, wearing each other out. We started a movie around 6:30 last night after dinner. Becca fell asleep like 20 minutes into it. I kept going and finished the movie. Was it IPT of me to finish the movie when we weren't even like a quarter of the way into it and she fell asleep?
What movie was it?
It was something on Amazon Prime. I forgot the name of it.
I was hoping it was The American President.
It was kind of a weird one. Like, it was one of those like thriller.
Have you guys watched The American President?
No, we have not.
Why don't you and Becca should watch that with your cute little puppies?
And Mo and Rufus.
Why don't you poll it to see if we should?
Whoa, Nelly! I don't get it.
Hashtag poll it.
What streaming platform is it on?
It's available on Peacock.
I hope so. I might watch it just through that if it is. Is it IPT to finish the movie if your significant other who also wants to watch it falls asleep less than a quarter of the way in?
You know the old saying, this is not a straw man argument, but you snooze, you lose. So no, nothing IPT about it.
Sleepy straw man, actually, oddly enough. Was it good? Like, is she going to want to watch it now? Would you recommend her watching it?
So I got to figure out what the name of the movie was. It was about like it was
a place to start.
It was in England, and it was
a hell of an operation over there.
Yeah.
We're so exhausted by having 2 dogs in our house.
Salt something. It was like the name of the estate that they go to, but it was like a thriller, psychological kind of thing. It was a little weird, a little twisty at the end. It was like I wouldn't say it was really good, but it was interesting. So, like, it kept me compelled for 2 hours.
Anything to do with why certain roads don't get salted at a certain temperature? Is that what the premise of it is?
No.
But the movie was not called Salt.
Nelly!
No, that's a different one.
He just said it was called Salt.
All right. Sorry, I should have looked at what the movie was called.
Salt is about a CIA officer who is fingered as a Russian sleeper spy. Maybe you and Becca can watch that together on Prime.
Saltburn, one word was the name of the movie.
Okay. Well, real creative.
I think we're done here.
Nelly!
Do you have anything else, Jesse?
Nope. Still don't know how old Grandpa is. I'll let you know tomorrow. Younger than Euchre.
As are a lot of people. I don't have a conversational segue. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Out with the new, in with the new. Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my favorite go-to drink. That's Carbless. Carbless is a ready-to-drink, handcrafted vodka and tequila cocktail. Even better, it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. And listen to this, less carbonation. This leads to less bloat. I can indulge in something delicious without having that health guilt. Carbless is crafted right here in Wisconsin. It has a flavor for everyone, from black raspberry to cranberry, pineapple and lemon, and my favorite, margarita. Find Carbless online and at a retailer near you. Less is more.
Even when the weather outside is frightful, your energy bill could be much more delightful. Replacing drafty windows and doors can dramatically lower your energy costs. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin's energy-efficient windows keep the cold outside where it belongs. You'll help kick the January blues when you choose to book by the 31st for 0% interest up to 36 months. You heard that right. No interest for up to 36 months if you book by January 31st. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Sam Steiner is with me. So someone suffers a sports injury and walks into OAW. What's next?
In some cases, setting them up with a sports therapist through our facility and seeing if they can get back into what they want to do without surgery. And then in other cases, when we see them back, we follow them along. You're not assessing just their injury, you're assessing the patient. You want to understand their expectations, and based on that, that's where you go down a treatment algorithm to get them back into what they want to do.
Is it tough to take into account the human aspect of things and not just focus on the injury?
I think it's very challenging. And like I said, you have to be invested in the people you take care of to understand where they're coming from and what their expectations are. They just can't be a number and look at, say, an MRI and say, well, you have this, then we're going to do this. I think in every single circumstance, you have to take into account everything that you have and assess the patient, understand where they're coming from and what their expectations are.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here to tell you about one of the best purchases I recently made, an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. It's an easy-to-install sauna that is great for a post-workout, travel, or long-day detoxification, and it has a rapid heat-up time. Using Good Health Saunas can also help reduce stress, improve circulation, and make your skin glow. Got an athlete in your family or just someone with an active lifestyle? Infrared saunas are perfect for muscle and tissue recovery as well. Learn more today at goodhealthsaunas.com, goodhealthsaunas.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
And I'll turn right back around. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. And I don't.
Two pieces of breaking news into the Wilde and Tausch newsroom. One from our friend Marcus on Twitter.
This one
Oppenheimer
is good news.
is going to be available in a couple of weeks, streaming, which Tausch has been waiting for. And the greatest irony in the history of the show, it will be streaming exclusively on Peacock.
Why did I know that was going to happen? I did ask, and I don't want to put more work on Marcus's plate, but will it be on airlines?
Maybe
because
you can
I think
rent
we
it
all
at
look for
Blockbuster. Maybe you can get the VHS.
when we're going to be on flights. We're always looking for, this is going to be awesome. I get to watch this. It kills some time. Will it be on airlines by March if it's on Peacock? Do we feel good about that?
Tausch is going to book a flight just to watch Peacock.
Just so he doesn't have to buy Peacock.
Instead of Peacock.
All right. So that was...
I'm being dead serious. Do we feel good that it'll be on airlines by March?
Don't know. We know. We'll get on that for you, Mr. Tauscher. We'll check into the airline streaming options for you by March for hockey tournaments and the like. The more important breaking news from the National Football League from Tom Pelissero. Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson has informed the Seahawks and Commanders that he is staying in Detroit.
Wow.
Johnson is still only 37 and will be a hot head coaching candidate again next year. But first, he wants to take another shot at bringing a Lombardi trophy to Detroit. You said this was going to be good news for the Packers, that he was going to get a head coaching job. Mm-hmm. This then would be the opposite of that.
Yeah, he is. You give him a ton of credit for what he's been able to do in Detroit. Their offense is very good. It's it's dynamic. They've done a really good job, and this solidifies Detroit in a position of I think Green Bay will be nipping right at them, but I'm guessing Detroit will be the odds-on favorite again coming into it with this move that he's staying.
And Marcus has a flight on Delta tomorrow. He'll check and report back if Oppenheimer's available.
Appreciate you.
That's it for us today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day.
What is that?
Take care. Be good. Yuck.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Here in Wisconsin, we love our sports year-round, right down to the Packers games and the Lambeau snow. If you want to show your love for the green and gold every day, you got it with Associated Bank's exclusive Packers checking account. A one-of-a-kind debit card, a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, plus everything you'll score as an Associated Bank customer. Best of all, you'll get a banking partner based right here in the Midwest. Visit AssociatedBank.com/Packers to get started today. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Honey, come here, quick.
What is it?
Shh, check it out. The prices on all these highly rated tequilas are amazing. Total Wine must have made a mistake.
Nope, they always have the best deals in town. Remember that amazing reposado your sister brought over last week? See, it's right here.
Whoa, that's a low price. I mean, whoa, that's a low price.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Do you love winning? This February, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and fall head over heels with the Love It or Leave It $400,000 game show. Thursday nights, you could play the Love It or Leave It game show where you can love your prize or leave it for another. Play with your club card to earn drawing entries. Top prize is $10,000 in cash. It's time for Love It or Leave It. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaceBig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
To size up his Built to Win Now team. Rivers said it's going to take a minute for everybody to adjust to an entirely new voice midseason. Giannis Antetokounmpo was happy with the way the Bucks played in their first game under Doc, but he also preached the need for patience with the learning process. Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards lashed out at the officials following the win in Oklahoma City, told ESPN the refs were bad. They were terrible. Added he's going to take the fine because the refs didn't give them any calls. Edwards, who was 4 for 4 from the free throw line, thought he earned several more trips to the line last night. 76ers center Joel Embiid's status against the Warriors tonight uncertain due to knee soreness. He's missed the last 2 games with that issue.
From
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch the show on the ESPN app.
All right, back and better than ever, Greeny, presented by Progressive Insurance. We are jam-packed today. We're still looking backwards on the conference championship games. We've got two eyes set squarely on the Super Bowl ahead and a whole lot more. Jeff and Nick are here. Let's go.
Here we go!
Only one place to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect, it was a choke job.
Lamar Jackson is not the same in the postseason as he is in the regular season. He is worse.
When we start assigning blame for why the Ravens lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar is going to have the biggest slice of the pie.
All right, so much of the conversation is always going to be about the quarterback. The good news, it's always the quarterback. The bad news, it's always the quarterback. Well, Lamar Jackson is different, and this is a show where we can have this conversation. So is Dominique Foxworth and Jeff Saturday good enough to hang out here